This week in the Restroom, Scary Turds Month continues as we get our button mashing on to flush a horror video game turd from 2006. We've got exposition dump characters, connect the dots plot, laptop special effects, zero scares, and actor Jimmi Simpson channeling his inner Ryan Reynolds in a performance so bad, he makes Green Lantern look like Deadpool. It's Stay Alive, and before we flush it, we're going to take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Scary Turds. October is our month-long celebration of some of the worst horror films ever made. I am Honor Knight, your headless cinematic flusher, right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my freakish co-cinematic flusher, Killer Clown, Colleen Griffin.
Hey.
Oh, you can't even do that in a clown voice.
Deal with the triple K.
Can you just please do
that
a
was
clown
the
voice?
most awesome What's Happening reference ever.
Thank you.
Both Nora Crest and Sarah Polton are out of the Restroom this week. Sitting in for them is one half of the Steel Cage Radio podcasting team and one of our favorite extended co-flushers here on the show, Deadly Demon, Dee Dee Moreau.
Yay, thank you for having me. I like Deadly Demon. That's
all right,
great.
There you go. You can keep that one. Also joining us as part of our co-flushing team this time out is one of the Low Score boys from TortureVision's YouTube channel. Low Score essentially does for crappy video games what we do for crappy films right here in the Restroom. Please welcome back host Anthony Dynar, and subbing in for his brother Brandon Hayes is someone called Gay Dave.
Nice to spook you.
No, you can't just be Gay Dave. It's got to be from Canada.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gay Dave from Canada. God damn, I'm going to have to redo that whole thing. All right, well, there you go.
He said that so politely.
Listen to me, I'm going to fucking cut a bitch if I don't get a goddamn correct title. I love you, thank you, sorry, bye.
I'll take off and suck on a Molson.
Let's kick off this flush with a round of Pumpkin Dump.
Happy Halloween, bitch.
I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we'll go around the Cinematic Death Bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's Scary Turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS as Restroom Stall stats in a diabolical voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff!
Sim Shitty.
Dee Dee!
Games and Roses.
Oh, very nice. Gay Dave!
Call of Duty in the middle.
Oh, very... And I had Stay Away from This Film. Griffin!
Stay awake.
No. Dee Dee!
You're not the gaming boss of me.
Gay Dave!
Saturday Night Fever Part 2 Electric Boogaloo in the middle.
That's a long way to go for that, but all right, we'll roll with it. I had Stay Alive, the Brandon and Anthony story. Griffin!
Where's the cheat code to kill this movie?
Oh, but I'm bummed. Good one. Dee Dee!
GameStop bargain bin.
All right, that was a good one. Gay Dave!
$70 pre-order for this shit? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, in the middle.
All right, that was very elaborate. I had Stay Alive through all of this exposition. Jesus Christ. Griffin!
A Reddit thread come to life.
No. Dee Dee?
Red Light of Death.
All right, barely. Gay Dave?
The death of Frankie Muniz's career in the middle.
And that is time. All right, we ended on a pretty good note there. Nice job all around. But of course, we got to have one loser, and the loser this week is going to be Killeen.
You got to clarify who that is, because you always call me Griff.
Oh, I'm sorry, Griff.
I don't think that the listeners even know my first name.
At this point.
And they go along with most people.
All right, so Griff is the big loser this time. She's going to read the RSS Restroom Stall Sass in the voice of Igor. Have at it.
Igor. No, I'm blanking. Igor.
Igor, master. You know, Frankenstein.
Master.
There you go.
Stay alive.
All right, there you
It's
go.
a 2006 American slasher film directed by William Brent Bell. It was produced by McGee and was released on March 24th, 2006 in the U.S. It was the first film in 5 years released by Hollywood Pictures. It stars Adam Goldberg, John Foster, Samara Armstrong, Sophia Bush. Oh, wait, Malcolm in the Middle. The story deals with 5 friends: Master, who find themselves at the mercy of a video game that kills in real life and must uncover the mystery before it's too late. It was too late when they yelled action. Received negative critical reviews, holding a 9% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. John Anderson from the Los Angeles Times commented that Stay Alive spends a lot of time inside the video game system. Is that the Matrix? Maybe. And what will terrify the audience is how terrible this movie is.
All right, there you go. There's your abbreviated Restroom stall stats for this week. Great job, Igor. We really appreciate that one. Holy cow. Boy, if you can't
Back
get
to the dungeon, will ya?
Yeah. Boy, if you can't get enough of watching assholes play video games on YouTube and Twitch TV, have we got the turd for you?
Oh,
Jesus.
I know.
Let's make Beauty Pie look likable.
Yeah, almost.
It starts with a jump scare, and in the first 10 minutes, there's like 10 of them.
Man, I haven't seen a video game film this bad since Silent Hill, Double Dragon, Max Payne, Mortal Kombat, Wing Commander, House of the Dead, Blood Rain, Assassin's Creed, Hitman, Doom, Resident Evil, Warcraft, Street Fighter, Alone in the Dark, and the Angry Birds movie.
Don't you ever disparage House of the Dead again. Yui Bowl is a master filmmaker. House.
We flushed House of the Dead, Sean Hayes. So back up on that. Back up. Yeah. This turn is what happens when a video game tries to fuck a horror film and only succeeds in coming all over its back. Ooh, yeah.
Why is back?
Yikes.
Why is
Or
back?
has sex with a pig mask on.
That's how Honor and I do it all the
I
time.
know. I knew you were gonna circle about that. Yeah. At this rate,
You fight over who gets to wear the mask.
we do actually fight over that. Yes.
This was a horror movie, though? I'm just wondering.
Drinking game. Take a drink anytime someone says the title to this turd. On a related note, folks, don't make any plans for the next day.
Yeah.
The name Stay Alive comes up a lot.
Again, it's another horror movie where you don't care enough about any of the characters. Like, let them all die.
Hollywood Pictures, Spyglass Entertainment, and Endgame Entertainment present because it took 3 asshole companies to release one big asshole of a film. That makes sense.
Glorified crowdsourcing.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, when your opening shot is of a crappy CGI mansion from the first Resident Evil video game, you know your film is in trouble. Right off the bat, we start right in on that, and the CG doesn't get any better. I guess it's video game quality. For older video,
No.
Oh
Christ,
no?
no.
Okay, so that's a no from Gay Dave.
Yeah.
Christ,
no,
no,
I mean-
no, I'm sorry. Like, if you've ever played a video game, I don't know, past 1983, you know this is a pile of garbage.
In 2006, though, this came out in March. In November, PlayStation 3 came out. So it was really dumb of them to really showcase the PlayStation 2.
Oh,
And all that next generation tech that they had, like,
I know.
voice activation.
Yeah, and vibrating
Everything. They
controller.
had flip phones and
I
their
know,
phone
yeah.
had antennas and their laptops were like,
Yeah, their flip phones, when they rang,
I
they
know.
sound like a cordless phone from the 80s.
yeah, seriously. And their laptops were like suitcases. They were so big.
So anyway, you got this opening video game scene. I said the in-game protagonist gets killed so quickly, I thought Anthony Dynar was operating the controller.
Hey, Anthony, you know how, like, people in grade 3, how boys will, like, pull a pigtail of a girl he really likes? I'm getting that vibe here.
Game over. The turd, however, is unfortunately just getting started. So basically, we're just seeing like a Carnby character, right? Well, I forget that guy's first name from Alone in the Dark. He goes into a mansion, and some creepy people pop out, just like in Resident Evil, and then he ends up getting hung.
Yeah, but wait, just 1 second now. When you guys were first watching this film, when you watched all the logos happening and all that shit, and suddenly we're in this, like, CG crap, did it not appear like it was just another logo?
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. I thought it
absolutely
was
right.
like an introduction to a studio. I
was
thought it was
wow,
a
this
studio
is
logo.
really long studio.
Real.
No, that's the
Thank
beginning
you.
of the
I
film.
was gonna bring that up, and I was like, did the movie start? Or
And then I went,
not?
oh shit, is this a fucking cartoon? Because if it is, I'm gonna die. I can't watch
It would have been all.
They looked like those pop-up ads with Kate Upton.
I just played this new game called Stay Alive. It's creepy, real creepy. But not as creepy as the dude saying this line of dialogue who looks like he just spent 3 days at Comic-Con without showering. Jesus, this guy, and this is me
dude
going.
like considered like a sex symbol, and
I know,
had no
Milo.
idea.
I didn't know it was
him.
him.
Wait,
yeah.
Milo Ventimiglia?
Yeah, that's who it is.
You know, in South Park when they were playing Warcraft,
Yeah.
Oh
he's like a skinny version of that.
Oh, he's just so
Which has no
filthy.
He is, yeah, and there's no reason to target video game players like this. They're not all like this. Some of us do shower.
But I think my hair got greasier just watching him.
Yeah, that was pretty gross
It's
watching
real-
him.
yeah.
I wondered, how did a guy like that live in a house like that and
And
just
have it-
holed up in his little,
Yeah, nobody
you know,
in his bathrobe and
cave.
shit, and his
Yeah.
3-day-old beard.
You know his goatee smells like cat food, but no, they
Ew.
don't have a cat.
Shit, man, you don't knock. Well, shit, man, you don't lock your door when you're tagging your bitch from behind wearing a pig mask. Holy
Pig
shit.
mask. That
Yeah,
was
and
gross.
he didn't even look away. He was
No!
just like, oh, sorry.
And by the way, the character's named Loomis. Really?
I said for a moment I thought I was watching one of Anthony's home movies. See,
Anthony,
yeah.
man, are you gonna take that shit, yo?
he does.
Word.
And he does take it quite a bit. Well, with the pig mask, what are you gonna do? I mean, that came out.
Yeah,
It was
that
so random. That was disgusting.
Super
And
weird and unexpected.
it was
And
not-
like
yeah.
a non sequitur, like nothing ever.
so
Do you know,
That's it.
do you
It
know
was
what it
just there for
reminded me
shock
of?
value.
It was totally that scene in Total Recall, the original one, where the girl answers the video phone topless, just
Yes.
so you can see her
Oh,
boobs.
yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
you have to have some boobs.
So let me recap real quick. The opening is Milo Ventimiglia, and he's playing the video game that we saw that we were cracking on about Milo. I'm sorry about the crappy video game graphics. Anyway, the game ends because this character in the game gets killed, and he goes to another part of the house and he finds his roommate screwing this chick with a pig mask on. Which that's a whole movie right there. That's a whole
They
separate
don't
show.
explain it.
Yeah,
at
none of the
No, and then nothing ever is mentioned
No,
of it. They don't
ever.
mention it, after they're dead. Nothing.
it's a little weird, guys, but okay, we'll roll with it.
So I would have just loved to hear the cops say, okay, so we found a couple dead bodies in the back room, and there are lots of dildos.
Yeah. Don't get too attached to this video game douche, Milo, because he'll be dead only moments later in the same fashion as his video game avatar. Connection or not? Figure that shit out a little bit. Yeah, I know. It's a big little moment.
He goes down to get a glass of milk, which, could you think of anything worse in the middle of the night when you can't sleep?
Yeah, not
No,
milk.
I need
Like a good glass of milk.
Yeah.
Stay Alive. Not to be confused with 1983's Staying Alive, which is also a horror film.
Oh, that movie for sure is. Except for, you guessed it, Frank Stallone.
That's actually one of my favorite films. I'm not gonna.
Frank Stallone is dreamy.
Yeah, you are.
Oh my god.
Not as
Hunter,
dreamy as Jackie
What
Stallone.
part is it? What part is it at the end where he goes, "Hey, I feel like strutting"?
Yeah, well, that's the best. The hook. That's the end of the film. We're not gonna get into Staying Alive. That's
Well, I
but-
will say, I like Grease 2 is the superior Grease.
No. Do it look like an asshole? Adam Goldberg decked out in a cheap suit from the Men's Warehouse? Yep. 9-minute mark on that one. Why is Adam Goldberg even in this film? For anybody who knows who the hell Adam Goldberg is.
Because he just wants to dance.
A lot of people say that about Adam Goldberg in any film.
That whole scene, I didn't have the subtitles on. I literally did not understand a word that he said. He mumbled his entire.
He really
And I'm
did.
like, who is this guy? What the fuck is he saying? I can't hear anything. I'm just piecing it together by what the other guy was saying, because he was just mumbling. It sounded like he was whispering and had marbles in his mouth. I was like, man, I'm gonna need to put subtitles on this darn thing.
He's got a problem
it was
with
horrible.
that.
I didn't understand
normally.
anything I said.
I watched this on Comcast On Demand, and have you ever had it where it like kind of hesitate to give you the closed captions because it's like kind of like
yeah.
it's like,
Oh, God,
that's how it was.
Yeah.
That's how it was for all of Adam Goldberg's dialogue.
Who is this guy?
So
what is he
Does
saying?
Adam Goldberg play the exact same role in every scene?
He does, yes,
Every
he does.
single
It's the same
one.
He
character.
just basically plays himself.
We are introduced to our lead character, whose name John Foster's redhead. I'm gonna get to him for a minute.
Oh,
but
and by the way, who is
hang on.
Ben Foster's little
Oh,
brother?
you're right.
Yeah,
okay,
by the way,
you're right.
we do have to apologize for John Foster.
Yes,
He's Canadian, so
Oh,
we are apologizing.
okay, all right.
Well,
Thank
no,
you.
apologize because I think he's a Scientologist.
Anyway, he walks in and he works at a video game company. Adam Goldberg's the head of the project that they're working on, and they're in this really small office that was shot.
Yeah, but I didn't get it.
Oh, they work at a video game company? I thought it was a lawyer.
Yeah, they don't because his boss is.
It was just like some office.
Well, that's
job.
why I said
I thought it was like a lawyer or something.
No, I
he
thought
works in like accounts or like
Yeah, because he mentioned working on some account that he was trying to finish the report on, and
let's face it, they work at the office that was in Birdemic.
Well, yeah. Well, no shit.
Oh my God, good.
That was good because I said the office was so small. I thought it was a redressed broom closet from one of the production companies.
Oh my God,
they literally had two angles they can shoot.
It looks like a storage unit.
Yeah.
Like an elevated storage unit.
It does have a girl walking around with a bunch of files.
Yeah. She shows up for two scenes. Did you just take a picture of me? Who wouldn't want a picture of a grown-up Ron Weasley around the 11-minute mark?
Okay, not to spoil it, but didn't you think this girl was gonna like be in on it somehow?
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Hang on.
Takes pictures of people.
Hang on.
At a funeral.
You're right. John Foster was friends with the Milo character who got killed at the beginning, and he gets a phone call at the office, Milo, that he has to go to this fucking funeral scene, and now we're at a funeral scene where this Samara Armstrong, this actress who was in a John Tucker Must Die, and she did a bunch of other films, shows up and she's taking pictures.
She was in the OC. That was like her.
Yes, that was her big thing. Why is this chick using a camera from the 1940s?
Yeah, seriously, you know what?
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was so
weird. Be at a fucking funeral.
It's 2006,
weirdo.
Well, that's another problem.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes.
Like you really are aiming to get punched in the face.
I know him. I'm from Georgia.
She was asking about. She's basically asking about the relationship and how they're connected, and John Foster says, "Yeah, we were close. Well, we gave each other hand jobs between levels."
If you want to fuck later, here's
in a pig mask.
number.
Here, if you need to talk, it's my number. What Samara Armstrong needs is a tissue to get rid of that sweat on her upper lip in that close-up shot. She looks like she just gave a blowjob on a street corner in New Orleans during a heat wave.
She looks like a glazed donut, for Christ's sake.
You know what? She looks like the grown-up version of Erica Christensen's character in Traffic if she never got sober.
Yeah, well, the guys, this is a production problem because somebody's looking through the camera and they should have noticed that close-up shot where she had too much sweat on her upper lip. Just fucking dab her and
you
get
know
on
what?
the shot.
And I suffer from that upper lip thing too, but it's just like, she's already caked in makeup, so the contrast is there.
I think what the main point is, bitch, wipe your face when you're done, okay?
Oh!
By the way, I'm completely kidding. I will say this, though.
No, you're not.
She looked like Keanu Reeves after he was woke in Matrix. That's what she looked like.
Oh, man. So anyway, yeah, they have a meet cute. That's a meet cute. I guess as cute as it can be at a fucking funeral.
At a funeral.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, meet cute at a funeral.
I'm sorry, Hutch. Was anyone else waiting for Starsky to show up at some point in this turn?
Oh
or
God,
am I just dating myself with that
names.
reference? Hutch, Phineas, Swink, we're going to talk about some of these other clowns. Nobody's called this stuff, guys. Yeah. It's almost as bad as Honor Night.
Well, they are now because we have the wave of hipster babies.
Yeah,
but...
well, if they just named everybody Gay Dave, I think we would have been all right. I think we would have bought that one.
There wouldn't have been any of this nonsense.
No, there wouldn't have. So he was a real gamer, huh? Something that will no doubt get asked when Anthony and Brandon die. Sad, huh? All right.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to work your way through some of this material, folks. Bear with me. If Loomis was indeed testing this game, that means it could be barely legal. Why is this asshole in the Mongolian hipster hat talking like Ryan Reynolds at the 14-minute mark? Jimmi Simpson. I've got a real issue with this guy. He does all of his dialogue. Not in this film. No, because he's talking like Ryan Reynolds. Every line he delivers is in the same voice pattern as Ryan Reynolds. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. It kind of jumped out at me immediately, but then again,
he was doing this before Ryan Reynolds was really a thing.
Really? So Ryan Reynolds stole it from him.
Remember that stupid ass movie with Mina Suvari and Jason Biggs where he was like the Indiana, I don't know any better.
Yeah, his first movie.
Yeah. It was where Jason Biggs was like the loser college guy.
It was from like 2001 or something.
Yeah. So
he played a similar character in House of Cards too.
Oh, did he? Oh, he's from there too. Okay.
He was the guy. He was in House of Cards. He played like a computer hacker.
It's 2000. It's Loser.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Anybody who calls Jimmy
with an eye
needs to be hit in the face with a baseball.
Well, maybe he can't help it if his parents were on acid.
Well, I know. John Foster character goes to a cafe or a coffee shop where a friend of his works, and her brother is the Jimmi Simpson character. Now we're starting to get the Miku with all the friends, so we know the main characters for the rest of this nonsense. When your low-budget production can't afford actual glassware, just have your lead actor wash a bunch of Solo cups that were probably used the previous night after they wrapped for the day.
Who washes plastic cups?
Who does that? Just throw them out. 15-minute mark, folks. If you want to,
they do do have plastic ones that actually are ones that you keep.
Guys, really? Nobody's washing Solo
Not
cups.
the Solo cup.
Come on, throw that shit out.
They literally have Solo cups that are like a thicker plastic that are made to look like the throw
You could permanently be white trash.
Yeah, exactly. Permanently trailer park.
I hope that's the one.
That there should be the picture when you think of Make America Great Again. Right there. Solo cups you can wash and reuse.
Swink, you scared the crap out of me, man. 2 questions, folks. One, why does Frankie Muniz's character sound like a barely legal server in a gay nightclub? And 2, why is he wearing a visor like he just shot a white rap video in a rich neighborhood?
That's a
well, that's why it made me think of something from the 90s.
No, it's 2006, Dee Dee.
I know, but it felt like the 90s. This whole thing, the coffee shop and the gang of people hanging out together.
Yeah, I guess it's
I don't
very
even know
friends.
and the phones and
hey, guys,
clothes,
it was
everything.
an internet cafe.
First of all, you don't name a character Swink. Twink, maybe, but that's a whole different...
I thought he was autistic.
Yeah, but that's a whole different type of, yep.
Yeah.
You thought he was...
I think he was just straight up retarded.
They didn't develop his character enough for you to even care.
Wait, that suggests they developed
Right.
any character.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I said Frankie Muniz is a video game Rain Man of this turd, with apologies to Rain Man.
I didn't even know
his visors upside down.
I just thought he was like the nerd of the group.
Well, no, I think he's autistic. I don't think he's just yeah, he's the nerd. You're right. You're correct. But
wait, he's the nerd.
Yeah, he was
really
he was not.
Nobody has friends
they're
like
all
this.
wastes. Let's face it.
Yeah, they're all.
Seriously, he did not have any kind of like exceptional skill to like think he was any more than like a hanger-on nerd.
Oh, really?
He's the perfect height. That's why.
He's nerd height.
Perspective bullshit online, all the articles.
Well, perspective reality, I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys do, Anthony. You do that on your weekends, right? You look up that shit.
But still, he had to Google it. Like I feel like he would have already known about it.
Well, he didn't Google it. He did Ask Jeeves.
Alta Vista did.
Girl has got body karate going on. Would someone please slap the Ryan Reynolds out of this asshole? I'm surprised Reynolds didn't file a lawsuit for personality infringement. Every line this guy's cracking out.
Like,
fuck.
They're gonna have a Ryan Reynolds off. Like,
you spoke the words, and soon you will die for it. Well, $10 says both Anthony and Brandon got erections when this video game kicked into gear around the 18-minute mark.
Anthony
that's when
has an erection now.
Yeah. So all the friends get together in the same room to play this video game called Stay Alive that they found because one of the sister gave John Foster's character a bag of the dead guy's shit, and it turns out he had a copy of this video game in there, and they decided to play the game because it's an unreleased video game that hasn't been released yet. They're beta testing, and they decided to play it to find out what the fuck it is.
She also gave them herpes.
Yes, she also gave them herpes. So basically, you have Ron Weasley in there. You got the Ryan Reynolds character in there. You got 2 chicks in there. One's has brunette hair named October.
I thought he looked more like the Shermanator than.
Well, there's a Shermanator.
The Shermanator.
Yeah, Frankie Muniz is in there. And then there you go, and the blonde chick, the idiot, who doesn't shower, her. We'll talk about that. Yes, thank you with the dick sucking lip. Got it. In order to do that, you must stay alive. I gotta do this line again because everybody's laughing. In order to do that, you must stay alive. Heyo, you know your video game horror turd blows when it has to dick suck its own name. How many times are we gonna hear "Stay Alive," guys? We get it. We know the name of the film is "Stay Alive." All right, stop letting us. We got it, dude. You better drop a rose or a kiss from a rose. Hey-o! With apologies to Seal. Personally, I'd rather drop a deuce over this mess. Hey-o. All right, I got 2 out of that. We'll take it. Yeah.
Well, your roses really smell like.
So basically, if you're in the game and you drop a rose, you're saved in that moment, so you don't get killed by it.
Can I ask you, how in the fuck do they even know this?
Yeah,
shit?
they go through this whole mythology about how a video game works, and we're gonna try to recap it a little bit, how that's transposing into real life. Basically, they have to read a passage, which turns out to be a seance passage, which starts the game. You have to say that into your microphone. I've never worn a microphone playing a video game. I know I'm not a game of Gears of War type asshole. I've never done that.
If you do online video games,
right.
You're wearing your headset so you can talk with your teammates.
See, your
like
teammates.
the lawyer who's offsite. Playing this in a horrible game, and
who's
by the way,
mumbling with.
We should mention Adam.
Right.
Adam Goldberg.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna mention next. I'm out of goddamn roses, man. Adam Goldberg sounds like a meth addict more than a video game addict. I guess the production couldn't afford to have him on set for more than a few hours, since all of his scenes are shot in the same broom closet. 22 minimum. He
wearing the same clothes and everything.
Yeah, he's a one-day shoot, Dee Dee. That's what you call a one-day shoot. You got him for one day to add production value to your production, but he's terrible. You can't understand the guy. He plays the same character in every film, and he adds no value to this movie at all.
Well, that speaks to how sad this movie is if Adam Goldberg is your fucking star.
Well, there's the...
Yeah, oh my God, and you waste the dude from The Wire.
I know this kind of thing ain't easy, son. Watching Adam Goldberg get killed off early and us having to stay and watch the rest of this film, no, it ain't easy, guys. So basically, they play one section of the game, and Adam Goldberg's character in the game gets killed. And then in real life, like 2 scenes later, Adam Goldberg gets killed in the same fashion as he was killed in the video game. I gotta explain this because there's this whole mythology about people, if you get killed in a video game, they're starting to get killed in real life. And that's what happened to the Milo. Did I say that? Or Milo? Damn it.
Milo.
Fuck that. Yeah!
Like Milo and Otis.
Is that the guy from fucking Heroes? Is that the same guy from Heroes? Oh, see,
that's what's so weird.
He looks so awful in this film. I don't know why I'm... Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is when Heroes was a big fucking
was
deal. He's like a nobody in this movie. Why was he in this movie?
In case you're wondering, folks, he also played the son of Sylvester Stallone's character in Rocky 6. Rocky
that was around the same time as this movie, too.
Well, why didn't he... Well, he looks... First of all, he's unrecognizable in this film.
Yeah, that's so
And
weird.
second of all, paycheck, guys. And why is he even in that movie? He could have got any asshole to do that role.
He signed like a contract like a long-ass time ago.
Christ, Anthony would have shown up for that fucking one scene.
Oh, yeah.
And he's more qualified.
Okay. Heroes came out.
2003, I think.
The same. No. Okay. I
guess.
No.
It was 2006.
Was it really that late?
So Heroes came out around the same time as this movie. So this was like his last like a check's a check movie.
Oh, okay. Well, and he's gone back to a check's a check. What the fuck's the guy done?
No, are you kidding me? He was nominated for an Emmy.
Oh, never. My bad. Sorry, Milo. I can't. Okay.
He's in This Is Us. He's like.
Is that what he's in? Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah.
They all died the same way they died in the game. Well, something the audience figured out 30 minutes ago, but now we're going to have to wait until the characters catch up to the plot. I fucking hate that shit. We figured out, we all, thanks, Didi. Yeah, even your kid came in and figured that out, right?
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh, yeah, she knew exactly what was going on.
A video game that kills video game players. What's the problem here?
Here's the thing. I feel like the concept of this movie is actually kind of cool if it was executed.
It's something else, right? A better script, a better cat, right?
Yeah. And anybody who's actually played a video game ever,
was right?
Yeah, you're right. There's pacing issues and Gay Dave's right. Yeah, somebody who's actually played video games.
And then the game is playing itself, so there's artificial intelligence. And don't even get me started on the historical part.
You could do a Black Mirror episode where people were obsessed with playing The Sims.
Yeah.
And then you end up being in The Sims.
Yeah, there's gold to be mined from this initial concept. Unfortunately, they butcher it here. And Didi, it's coming. We're coming up to all that other stuff. But there's a complex mythology that would work better somewhere else. It's just butchered here. But close your eyes. I want to see you tonight. Oh, I gotta sing this. Close your eyes. I want to see you tonight in my sweet dreams. All right, really butchered that.
Best part of
I know. In case you're wondering what Anthony Dynar looks like driving around in his car, I give you this Ryan Reynolds doppelganger singing this scene around the 36-minute mark. With apologies to Air Supply. I'm going to apologize
for
singing
this.
I bet you were. Oh, it's a great song. Like, I'm not going to say it's not a great song, but why is this Ryan Reynolds asshole singing that song? And how'd they get the rights to that song? That's what I want to know, because Air Supply isn't cheap.
No idea.
All right,
Someone has a picture of the lead singer of Air Supply with a goat.
I saw Air Supply at Epcot, believe it or not. And, man, oh, man, my panties just fell right off right into the seat.
You know what's funny is Jimmi Simpson, when he, gets into character for this, he channels the same character he does in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, is that what he does?
McBoyles,
Is that what he's doing?
You'll call her?
That's a 36-minute mark, folks, if you want to check that out. That was one of the highlights of a few highlights of this film. Okay, we're close. Look for his car, which actually could be seen from a mile away on this very long straight road. What the fuck? Yeah. So anyway, basically, the one character gets separated. He's singing Air Supply, and he stops off. He almost hits a tree because he sees a carriage with a horse, which is a ghost. Again, they're playing fast and loose with rules. Again, if you're playing the game and you get killed in the game, you're supposed to get killed in real life. However, if you don't get killed in the game, the ghost still can appear and chase you down, which I don't understand. Again, the rules are totally fucked up.
What's the point of the game?
Right.
They're saying that the game is playing itself.
No, well, how is that possible?
That was weird.
That doesn't make any sense. So we're at,
and in real life and in the game, so it's in two places. It's online and in I don't even know. The whole thing was just.
Hang on. We're getting to the mythology.
They started present a whole bunch of possible like end games and didn't pursue any of them.
No.
They said at some point like if you beat the game, like if you get past this point,
then you win.
They didn't go there with any
No,
of them.
nobody
That
wins.
was what I thought
Nobody
was
wins.
going to happen. That they were going to have to play the game till its
That's
end.
what I thought.
In order to
Which
like.
would've-
But
Yeah,
that they
That's
abandoned
kinda
that.
where
Would've
I thought
made
it was
sense.
going. And,
Right,
Which
it
would have
would've
been a
sure.
better movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
because at this point it's kind of into Crazy Town. I mean, it's so unconnected to anything that it was at the beginning. It
Can
was
we
just
just-
completely off.
Clarify just two things.
Go ahead.
First of all, they know a fuckload about this game and how to beat it based
Right.
on not having a manual. And number two, this was a horror film?
Okay, Dave, I'm going to mention that right now because we're, 36 minutes? There's no scares, guys. There's none. Not one jump scare, no creepiness, no atmosphere, no suspense. Nothing is built in this film. It's just scene after scene of shit, of video games and these guys. That's the other problem. It's not a horror film because there's nothing horror about it. It's just people.
I think
Yeah.
it's horror. I think
They
it's
do
horror
a bunch
film.
of stuff to shock you, but there's no
There's no
point. You're not even
shock.
shocked
You're not
because you don't
scared.
care about any of these people.
No,
Because
I-
it's
you're just
cliche
kinda-
horse shit.
Yeah.
I get more shock when I don't replace the batteries in my dildo. Properly.
Nice.
Yes, there you
I
go.
knew
So
it.
that's
Hey-o.
the vibrating
And
sound.
it's coming all the way around.
Wait, is it really coming all the way around?
Oh,
That's
well, J. Dave with the win on that one. Poor Dee Dee's gonna have to go take a shower right after this show's done. I know we're
I
killing.
got to be honest.
Please.
So do I.
Oh, open up on hey, oh, wow. I got a lot of material to
I'm
edit.
sorry.
I got a lot
told
of
you you
material.
didn't want this to be a video chat.
No, I know. No, we did not.
But this really is a horror movie, and I'll tell you why it's a horror
Okay, go
movie,
ahead.
Because this actually had a fucking budget to be made. That's why it's
Was
a horror
it?
film.
What is the
Anything
budget?
above a
Not-
dollar
it
is
was
a
like
horror
9
film.
million.
Oh,
I think.
yeah. See, where'd the money go though? 9 million's a lot, guys.
Right.
For a low budget horror film, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
I think
Yeah,
of the movie.
well,
The
to the
Room
video
could have been
game,
for 9
probably.
million.
Yeah, probably. You're right, Dee Dee. It's probably a video game. You wouldn't play a game developed by Charlie Manson, would you? Hell yeah, I would. Better than watching this film. I want to mention this video store clerk right now. So Nice, a production chose to represent video game store clerks as tweaked out speed freaks with eraser head hair. Anyone surprised
God.
GameStop chose not to support this movie? Like, why?
Oh my
I don't.
God,
This is what
yes.
drives me nuts. That not all video game players or video game store employees are like this. And would you please
Some
stop?
of them are.
The vast majority are. Let's.
I
all
was gonna say,
I was trying to be
appreciated
nice.
The accuracy.
Very misrepresentative. I've been in GameStop a lot. I've never seen this guy. I'm not saying he doesn't exist, but please, they're not all idiots like this. Most
Yeah, he was a spaz.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, with the amount of people with ESP who play video games, no, they're not.
No, they're not. They really aren't.
I've been called faggot so many times
Oh.
without people even knowing.
Dave, you're the only gay guy in Canada, so what do you expect?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
exactly. Of course they're gonna call you
It
fat.
is.
Well,
I'm,
him and
I'm the
Buddy
only gay in
Cole.
the village up
You're-
here.
The only gay in the village.
He just wants a little bit of cock.
I told you I used to live with the Crowleys when I was younger. Well, I skipped that joke because.
Well, yeah, but this like backstory right
Well,
now.
yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
There's a
Yeah,
backstory.
the backstory that who gives a shit. You know
Right,
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's such
Yes.
stupid backstory.
John-
It doesn't pertain
right.
to anything. It's garbage.
John Foster had an abusive stepfather, and in the backstory, he ends up killing the mother and setting fire to the house, and the kid's afraid of fire, I guess, the John Foster character as an adult, and that's why there's this long, prolonged backstory, and I'm not gonna get too far in it, but it's tied in with the Crowleys, and the Crowleys are the woman who's the lead villain in the film, who's the ghost, who apparently inhabits this video game and then inhabits real life. She has this plantation, and she killed a bunch of people. It's
No, that's
a very,
not who it is. It's
No,
Elizabeth
no.
Bathory, who is
Oh, Jesus
from
Christ.
Hungarian
All right.
Hungarian
Yeah,
and
she's
has
Hungarian.
nothing to do with America.
She bathed
No.
in blood. Yeah, she bathed
All right, you
in
guys
blood.
actually really paid attention to this complex
No,
mythology.
we
but
just,
backstory
we're just
for
aware
the
of what the
actual
actual myth
character.
is.
But
And-
Yeah, 16.
Why would she
14
have
or
been buried
something.
alive in Louisiana when she died in the 1600s?
Oh,
in-
did she?
in-
Oh, so it's an actual person.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
She was considered like a quote unquote like vampire because she would
What?
Right.
she would have young virgins killed so she could bathe in their blood to remain young.
That's just
She
a
was
weekend,
a
though.
serial
Christ,
killer
safe.
back in her time, and then
That's-
she died in her castle. That was her punishment. She died like 5 years after losing her trial in Hungary. So she would have been dust by the time
my
America
God.
was founded.
But from what I understand, wasn't it like that dude's father killed his mother, burnt her in the bed,
And he almost burnt him.
and
The house
he-
on fire.
Well, and he was too young to do anything. Like, he was so
Right.
scared he couldn't do anything. So he just sat there while it burnt half of him, and the firemen got him out in time.
Oh my
Right.
God!
Because
Well,
apparently millennials are stupid and can't move when they're on fire.
But if you got yeah, well, that's true. Okay, all right. So there's a cop. Apparently, this was based on a real person. I'm glad we had Dee Dee on. She's the teacher. She knows.
Okay. Milo was like
Milo?
his surrogate brother. Because
Okay, Milo. Thank you. She's outside smoking a cigarette right near a construction site. What could possibly happen?
Yeah, with lights on in a house under construction. Who
How
does
did-
that?
They're like randomly at a construction site. Oh, and they find out that they need nails to kill.
Right. You have to nail 2 in the heart and 1 in the head, and there's a big guys. There's an amazingly complex mythology. That the problem is though, it's executed so poorly that they have to have characters literally stop the film, explain a chunk of exposition, and then move forward. Then stop the film, explain a chunk of exposition, and move forward. It's on and on and on. It never pays off. So if you've got a handle on all that, the October character, the brunette, goes outside for a cigarette at the house because they're all trying to figure out what to do because they're starting to get killed off. Who's dead by this time? I forget. There's a couple people dead. The Frankie Muniz character's still alive. The John Foster character, the blonde, sweaty lip chick.
Jimmi Simpson's the only one who's died.
Oh, that
No,
asshole.
and then
good. Well, I'm glad he died.
the guys from the beginning. All the people from the
investigator,
beginning and the mumbling friend.
Is that the guy from The Wire that died?
No, not the guy from The Wire.
Oh, not him.
It's the white guy.
Oh, the white guy.
Yeah, that's like why was
The white guy.
Wendell Pierce in this movie?
Wendell Pierce is
no purpose.
He's a great character actor. Wendell Pierce, folks, if you know him, I guess from The Wire, and he just had no business being in this film. But
he was in the movie for like 5 minutes.
He's always plays. It's always like a black cop. They always have to
he's
get a
just
black
there
cop.
basically to threaten him in a cliche
Yeah,
way.
and we've seen another.
He's going to retire in 2 days and be on his boat with his wife.
And Mel Gibson shows up, and then all hell breaks loose. Okay.
I think he also said at one point that he was getting too old.
I'm too old for this shit.
So are we. I don't know what the rules are. Well, neither do the filmmakers since they keep making up these video game kills as the plot rolls on. 51-minute mark. This is what I have the biggest problem with. If you set up the rules and follow them. Are you in the game? Are you out of the game? Can you be killed only in the game? And then I don't understand that's the biggest issue I have with the film is they didn't follow their own logical rules, which I could have got on board with. But
that was your biggest issue with this movie?
Well, of the overall,
well, there's no internal logic. It's all over.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
I'm still questioning it was a horror film.
I thought we established that it wasn't, but all right, Dave.
There was blood in it, so
this almost feels like a rom-com, to be honest.
It does. Should have left her alone, or the post-production guy who, Jesus Christ, who tried to desperately match the lighting between the indoor and outdoor shots of this construction site around the 54-minute mark. It's like the whole sequence is colored time by Stevie Wonder. Is it daylight? Is it twilight? Is it dark? Did you notice that when she was in the construction site? It's broad daylight through the windows. Then they go outside and they throw a filter on it. Then they go back inside.
Well, they tried to establish.
Go ahead.
It had to be nighttime for her, like her full powers.
Oh.
They didn't establish this clearly.
Oh my
but
God.
like for her to I don't know, it was like some headless horseman.
Yeah. It's like some Disney crap going on here.
Yeah,
Guys,
it was produced by Disney. So
oh, that's right, folks. This is their only it's their only slasher film on record, and for good reason.
Because it's not a slasher film.
That too. Okay, Dave. Thank you. And folks, 54-minute mark.
Honestly,
if you want to see
Beauty and the Beast had moments that were scarier than this.
This van is Home Sweet Home. Nothing sexier than having a blonde homeless chick in your video game turd. Since all these idiots are gamers, it comes as no surprise that no one noticed her BO.
Oh, well, yeah, she was lying about who she was, but why did she lie and who the fuck is she?
Who is she?
I wondered that too. Like, was this going to turn into something somewhere down the road? No.
Maybe
she was going to be the one whose father created the game.
I thought so. Right. We'll talk about that. Right.
Be like obsessed with this headmistress or whatever.
So yeah,
she was the one conjuring her.
Right. So she's a homeless. She's basically she befriends. She has her own conversion van. She lives in the van and stuff like that. And they didn't know. Nobody said anything.
So perfect person to invite into your life and
with no money. How does she? Well, there's logical questions. Where does she work?
Orphans.
Well, where's she working? How's she affording gas money?
Film for the camera.
Yes. Oh yeah. Tissues to wipe her face.
Why do you think she needs to wipe it?
Maybe she. Well, yeah, maybe she's giving blowjobs in the back of that van.
She's done some movies for a mature audience.
Hey, you gotta.
She was young and she needed the money.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, I can get on board with that one.
But let's face it, in the States, and she is a blonde, young, hot white woman living in her van. would be a body raped and murdered very
Oh
quickly.
yeah, she'd be dead long.
Oh,
yeah,
let's face it.
And yeah, especially
Somebody,
like
the wrong
in
person
New
comes across
Orleans,
that van in the
like,
middle of the night.
yeah.
in New
Nobody,
Orleans,
no
you're
attractive
dead.
blonde woman lives in their van. Okay, you're right. All right, let's keep it. How is this happening, Hutch? A prolonged climax where this crappy video game and reality coexist in the same space? We have no fucking idea at the hour and 2 minute mark.
Yeah.
So basically now it starts bleeding together. They finally realize that they have to kill the body of the woman in the video game.
How?
Yeah, well,
Who?
with the
What?
three nails, with the three
Right,
nails,
the
right.
body that would have been turned at dust in the 1600s
thank
in
you,
Hungary.
dear.
Yeah, and also you getting a fucking flight to Hungary, you lying.
Yeah, no, it's all, this is all New Orleans.
No, if you Google Elizabeth Bathory, it says Elizabeth Bathory, Hungarian serial killer.
I wish the city of New Orleans would just issue a statement saying, could you please stop making shitty films in our city, like, that represent our city like this? Because New
You're
Orleans
the
is
reason
not...
why no one wanted to save us in Katrina.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no shit. No, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So they have to go to her estate, and behind the estate is a cemetery that's in the game, and the estate's in the game, and there's a tower that the dark tower, and they have
Whose
to get
workroom was that inside the armoire?
Well, we'll
That's
talk
what I
about
want.
that. I know that doesn't make any.
Oh my god! And it didn't look like recent notes. Like
Yeah, everything was all
why-
brand new.
Right.
I thought it was like the maker of the video
No,
game. And
that's
I'm like,
what I
oh,
thought.
okay,
Right.
So here we go.
She had a
By the way, who made the
co-conspirator.
video game?
Dave, I'm
We
saving
don't
it to the end. Don't.
Hey, can we get
That's
Robert
spoilers.
Mueller on this?
Hey, all right,
to
hang
figure out, like,
bitch, that's
Hey,
cheating.
Anthony,
Oh,
are you still there?
Yeah, Anthony's still here. He's just taking it all in right now. He's taking it all in.
He takes it all in.
He takes it all in. Takes it all. Jesus
Wow,
Christ.
that got sinister, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. That guy. Yeah, I got a little evil there, Dave. Bitch, that's cheating. I'm not dead yet. Well, something every video gamer has said right before throwing their controller against the wall.
Actually, you
so
sounded
true.
like him just
That is
then.
so
I did.
true.
That was pretty close. But it's true. Like, again, they're acknowledging they're playing fast and loose with the rules. But why are you doing this? Why are you confusing the characters in the film and the audience at this point
Oh,
in the film?
Christ. If you're watching this movie, you're confused to begin with.
Thank
just
you,
because
you are.
you're like, oh, wow, this looks like a good movie. Let
No.
me watch it. But secondly, I can't take anything that Frankie Muniz does seriously.
No,
in this
that's
film
true.
Because I just keep picturing Jane Kasmerick coming in and yelling at him or
Yep,
something.
that's exactly.
Yeah.
Or Bryan Cranston. Yeah, one of the two. She couldn't stand to see herself grow old. Well, nice to see Alienware had the balls to sponsor this turd since they keep shoving that reflective laptop cover down our throats for the entire running time. So, guys, if you show a mirror image to the woman, the villain, and the mirror doesn't
For
crack.
some reason.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to grow old and she doesn't want to see her reflection. It'll kill her. Apparently, the Alienware laptop cover, which it never existed, by the way, except in this movie, will do it.
Yeah, her face was stretching. That was
Yeah.
so funny.
Well, that didn't- yeah, that
it was Black Hole Sun.
Yeah.
That was, like, stretching.
That was
Didn't make
That's
any sense
hilarious.
at all.
Holy shit, though. That was like the worst CG. Like,
It's
honestly.
terrible.
Oh, I know.
It's
You do
terrible.
realize Voyager was from 96. and it
Oh,
had much better
ouch.
CG.
Oh, damn.
Jesus.
Oh
Right
no,
from
no,
day one.
Beetlejuice had better like.
Her jaw gets so elongated you can put at least
Weird.
2 or 3 cocks in there easily.
Yep. No, she has a
yeah.
definite case of cocksucker's cramp.
Well, there
So
it is.
like, oh my god.
Hey-oh. There's the bullet point
Yeah.
on that. Killer. Film ends with the Stay Alive gaming being released to the general public, thus negating
good.
all of the actions of the main characters.
Yeah.
They get the woman, they burn her up, and he overcomes his fear of fire. They put the nails in her, they set her on fire, they escape, and it's basically John
And
Foster.
calmly walk away as the thing is
I know,
burning.
burning death. So Ron Weasley escapes with the lip chick, and then the Frankie
And
Muniz
fucking
character,
Ron
Rain
Weasley.
Man.
and
Why
while
did he
still,
survive?
while,
Came back.
I know, he comes
He's
back,
back
he
and
was
then
dead.
he came back.
He did die,
yeah,
right.
and while still under investigation by police.
Right, but yeah, because they want to tag John Foster's character for all the murders, but who made the game? That's my biggest question.
Malcolm
Yeah, because they
Middle
found an
survived, by the
address
way.
for the place, and I
Right
thought they
there.
were going to go and find out who
Right,
did it.
that's
And
the whole
that
point of-
never went anywhere either.
That was
Dee Dee,
the
you're
more
right, that's the
story
whole-
to me, is
right.
Why I don't care
Right.
about this ancient person. I
No,
want to know
who
why
made
they
the
brought
game?
her back.
But how did they
why
tie?
choose a
And why
character
did they
that
bring
nobody
her
really
over
knows?
to
Right.
America?
No, Dave, you're right about that. Well, why choose an obscure character? But how was it able to? If there was just one scene where they showed Magic was able to merge this into the video game, I could have bought it. But there was nothing. You don't know who created the game. Somebody had to make the game and then release it to the general public. Who did
I
that?
will
I mean,
say,
I
I
mean,
will-
this is the worst season of American Horror Story ever.
Oh, seriously. American Horror Story. Shit video.
But when you get to the end of this movie at 85, there's logical questions that really needed to be answered during the running time. And that's I could have bought all of this if they just answered just some main general questions. And I'm okay with it. Like, even some shitty explanation, but there's none. We don't know who made it, how it got
what
released.
does all this mean
right.
at the end?
It means
what does
nothing.
all of this have?
Well, it means that they want to do a sequel, say Stay Alive 2 with the Roman numeral 2, but thank God that never fucking happened.
Well,
but that's why Malcolm survived, though.
Oh,
I guarantee it was in his contract that it's like, if there's a sequel, he's got to be in it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There probably was in place to do, but it wasn't a hit. Nobody saw this, but we barely saw it. Griffin on credits? Anything?
No, nothing.
Oh, God, after all that, we still get nothing? No explanation?
Nope.
Fuck this movie.
I know, I was like, but I think that, again, this was a couple of years before, like, the post-credits thing really took off.
Could be. All right, there you go. All right, folks, so there you go. Holy shit, that is Stay Alive for this Scary Turds this week. We took it out and we played with it a lot longer. We showed it. Could we flush it, ladies and gentlemen? Could we please flush it?
A-B, left, right.
There you go. If you know,
I think this movie really was green apple splash.
Yeah. I think it. Oh, very good. There's a Konami code in the Rotten Tomatoes green apple. Consider a flush. That is it for this episode of Scary Turds. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Killer Clown, Colleen Griffin, and Deadly Demon, Dee Moreau. Thanks, Dee, for stepping in and for Polton and Crest. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
There you go. Also want to thank our very special guests. Well, one we had planned and one we did not. Anthony Dynar from the Low Scorer Show on TortureVision, and Gay Dave from Canada. I don't know where the fuck this guy is, but he showed up and he was comedy gold.
Can't we call him like the podcast like fake Canadian boyfriend?
Yeah, he's definitely our big Canadian boyfriend. Gay Dave will probably be back at this point. In fact, we might just dump Anthony and Brandon and just have Gay Dave on at this point. Fuck him, you know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Gay Dave's bringing the gold. What do you want to do? So there you go. No, we love them, every one of them. Thank you, gentlemen. Really, really appreciate you stepping in for this edition of Scary Turds. You guys are awesome. And we're going to be back next week to torture you guys with yet another Scary Turd. Until then, say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
Hi, this is Nora Crest, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we attract more listeners and you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I'm Nora Crest, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.